Off topic, like, I love living in my city, but it's the noise for me. Like, it's the noise outside for me. Like, do y'all do anything? Like, somebody outside playing FNF, and that's my song, but like, I'm trying to film a story time with my babes. Like, hello. And I don't want to get a copyright claim. Like, move. Like, why you on the corner playing FNF? Hey babes, anyways, hey babes, welcome back to my channel. And if you are new to my channel, welcome to my channel. I am Jay. So today's video is going to be a story time. I promise you guys a story time. And you guys know, anytime that I'm sitting here, like here with my little grass background, my pillows and everything, anytime I'm sitting right here, I got a story time for you guys. And I'm gonna have to like rearrange this area because, first of all, my couch is cute, my pillows are cute, my neon sign is cute, it says Jay was here, okay, my flowers match the pillows and everything is cute. And then when I'm sitting down or when I'm filming TikToks or a YouTube video for you guys can't see anything. All you see is like was here, and it's like, girl, who was here? Who are you talking about? All you see is was here. You can't see like my aesthetic and you know, the pillow, and you can't see my flowers. So I'm thinking about like putting my couch on books and lifting my couch up so you can see Jay was here and at least a little bit of the flowers, and you can see, like, you know. Anyways, I'm gonna fix that. But yeah, today's video is gonna be a story time. I haven't given you guys a story time in a while. The last time was around Christmas, around Vlogmas, and for my returning bays. And then you know that right after that I had got sick and I had to cut Vlogmas short. But I'm back with another one, and I would love to give you guys story times like all the time, but a lot of crazy things don't happen, or the story times that I have, even though I don't talk to them people no more, like, I know that they watch my videos, so I would want to hit them up like, yo, it's okay if I tell this story, even though I'm not gonna say their name. I would still be like, hey, is it okay if I tell this story, you feel me? But I'm about to just say F it and do my story times anyway. Like, I'm not hurting anybody, so let's just get to the chat and get right into the story time. So yeah, sometimes my story times happen a while back, and I literally have, same way I would write out my quad M videos and write about what I'm going to be talking about, I have to really go back and reminisce and like write down what happened. Like, I have to remember, like, okay, remember that happened, because if not, I will give you guys a 5-minute story time, because I'll be wanting to get to the main point, and I have to remember the build up to the, you know, the moment. So I have to go back and write it down. So I have wrote it down in my phone, but you guys don't want to hear that. Let's just get into it. And if you haven't subscribed already, you might as well just go ahead and subscribe now, because you're gonna like my content. Okay, so the story time involves 2 of my friends, okay, and I'm pretty sure they don't care, because these are still my friends. I'm pretty sure they don't care if I say their names, but just for like, I'm not gonna say the names, I'm gonna give them the names. And when it comes to these story times, if the person is not somebody that like I'm against, or somebody that's like, you know, the frustrating one in the story, if it's like one of my friends or something, it's hard giving them a story time, because I mean, it's hard giving them a name, because usually the names are something that makes fun of people. So we're gonna call them, one of my friends, her little name when she goes out or whatever, she calls herself Zyman. It's Diamond, but the way she, every time somebody like, oh, what's your name, ma? Da, 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 da. She's like, oh, my name is Zyman. So we can call her Zyman. Alright, we can call her Diamond. And my other friend, we're gonna call her Queen, just because it kind of goes with her name. So Diamond and Queen, okay? So this one time, Diamond had hit up the girls group chat or whatever. She had hit up the group chat and she was like, do you guys want to go see the Scream movie on Friday? So if you know me, well, I don't think I expressed this to my babes already, but you guys know that I'm a Halloween baby, okay? And I love me some scary movies, anything that's like horror, demonic. I promise you, I'm a good person. This is just what I'm into. Like, when it comes to Halloween, like, I always said that I'm gonna wait for my subscriber count to get very high for me to do these outstanding looks, but why not do them now? So get prepared for my Halloween videos. But anyway, yes, I'm very into like horror movies, Halloween. So when she was like, oh, do you guys want to go see the Scream movie or whatever, I was like, there's a Scream movie. Like, I got super excited. Like, what Scream movie? Like, what? Like, yes, we out. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's go. Like, how did I not know this? How did me, the horror queen, not know this? So she was like, yeah, or whatever, we can go. And then, you know, after we can get some food and some drinks and yada yada yada, we could even go to this nightclub after the movies. And then, you know, we could do like a whole girls weekend thing. So I was like with it. Anybody knows I love the club, okay? I know everybody's thing now is like, oh my god, I hate the club. I don't like the club. I like to stay home and read books. Like, yeah, I like that too, but I'm not gonna front and play the good girl role. I can read books and meditate and stay in the house and, you know, really cleanse and unwind. I can also go to the club and drink. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I hate the club, it's just so depressing. I like to go party, okay? So I was like, yes, let's go, or whatever. We can go to the movies, go to the club, and, you know, grab a bite to eat, whatever the case may be. Like, it's lit. We about to have a good weekend. It's lit. So I think like a day later, she had hit the group chat and she was like, hey y'all, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go because I don't have anybody to watch my cutie. I'm gonna just say my cutie because I'm not giving out children's names. Like, that's names I won't. I'm not giving out people's child names. She's like, I don't have anybody to watch my cutie because her dad is in Atlanta or whatever, and, you know, I'm not able to go. So I'm like, oh my god, like, now we gotta reschedule. I was looking forward to it, but I'm like, okay, it's cool. Like, it's the movies. Like, we can always go another day. Not a very big deal. We can go another day. Oh, and she had said that the person that was supposed to babysit for her, besides her father, had got COVID. And I was like, oh my god, like, you know, just do whatever you gotta do. And at this time, COVID was like, you know, still scary. So I'm like, you know, do whatever you gotta do. You gotta stay home. Like, the movies could wait. Like, this is more important. So then she hits a group chat again and says that she found a babysitter and that you know, if the babysitter living in New York, people are just drunk and crazy. She found a babysitter or whatever, and you know, if the person decides to keep the baby until Saturday, then we gonna go out and it's lit. So I'm like, okay, it's litty, we on again, like, this for sure, for sure. She was like, yes, for sure, like, it's lit. So we know we kind of like, all right, we're gonna go here, da da da. So oh my god, listen, I love y'all, and y'all know that I'll try to make my videos as professional as possible, but I can't keep putting things on hold because I feel like something is wrong. I can't keep putting my videos on hold because a nail's broken. I can't keep putting my videos on hold because people are making noise outside. So if you hear noise outside, a girl gotta get her content up, alright? Just focus on me right now. We here with it. You my girl, okay, my guy, whatever, and let's just pretend that we sitting out eating snacks and I'm telling you a story because that's what's happening, okay? Let's not pay attention to outside things. Yeah. So Diamond is like, oh my god, like, we might have to buy our tickets today because this movie, like, everybody, like, it's sold out everywhere's movie. Everybody's gonna see this movie because you guys know that Scream is a classic. Like, hello, Scream is a classic. So it's like when Jordans that came out years ago come out again. Like, everybody's gonna go and buy them. Everybody's gonna go see this movie. So it's like, everybody's gonna go see this movie. It's lit. Everybody's talking about it. We have to buy our tickets like today, like right now. So I'm like, okay, where do we want to buy our tickets or whatever? So she's like, we could go to 42nd Street or whatever. And keep in mind, she said 42nd Street, right? She was like, we go to 42nd Street or whatever. So I'm like, okay. She like, yeah, we go to 42nd Street because in that movie theater, that's where the seats recline or whatever the case may be. So I'm like, girl, the seats recline in the theaters all over Manhattan. Like, don't worry, it's no shade. This is how we just talk to each other. We're very comfortable around each other. So I'm like, girl, the seats recline all over Manhattan. Like, what are you talking about? So she like, oh, well, the one that me and such and such went to didn't have no recliner seats or whatever. And I'm like, well, which one was that? And she was like, I don't know, I'm not a GPS. And I'm like, girl, shut up. Like, that's just how we talk to each other, I promise you. So I just started throwing out movie theaters because everybody knows I'm a city girl. But when I say a city girl, I'm not talking about like city girl, you know, I'll give you tips. I'm talking city girl as in really city gossip girl. I love Manhattan. I am not one of the people that's like, oh, I gotta leave New York City. I just gotta get out of here and get it. I love my city. I love my city. Specifically Manhattan. I love Manhattan. Like, you could show me a photo of a block and I'm like, oh, that's on 23rd near Chelsea and da da da. Like, so I just started saying all the possible movie theaters we can go to. So I'm like, girl, there's a movie theater on 3rd Avenue. There's one on Union Square. We can go to that one. We can go to one at Battery Park. We can go to, you know, I just started saying all the movie theaters in Manhattan. But the one on Union Square doesn't recline. I don't know why I even said that. Anyway, I'm like, yeah, I just started shooting out all the movie theaters. But I'm like, I've said all of them, and I'm like, you know, but then we just go to 40 Deuce, like, it doesn't matter. 40 Deuce, it's like New York term for 42nd Street. I don't know if, like, the 10-year-olds call it that, but that's what we call it, 40 Deuce. So I'm looking for showtimes, and there's not a lot of showtimes because, like she said, that movie really is sold out everywhere. Like, there's no showtime. Like, every movie theater has like 1 or 2 showtimes, and they were like 5 p.m. or whatever. So I asked, like, you know, what time do you want to go or whatever, what time are you looking for? And she was like, let's just try to go around 8. So I looked for the 8 o'clock movie and I found an available one, but I'm just like, girl, that movie theater is filled up. Like, you was not playing when you said that everybody's going to see this movie. That movie theater is filled up. There's only bad seats. You know, there's always like the ones next to the handicap chair, or there's the ones like right up on the screen, like, and you have to watch the movie like this. So we're not doing that. So I was like, yeah, the 8 o'clock it's a dub for that. So I'm looking and I find a showtime that has a lot of seats or whatever. She's like, pick 3 seats or whatever, and she's like, oh, after that, you know, like, we're still doing stuff after. I'm like, oh, we could go to Slate. If y'all don't know what Slate is in NYC, it's a very lit club in the like Chelsea area. Okay, if you come to NYC, if you're from NYC, go to Slate. It's super lit. Okay, super lit. So then Queen writes in the chat or whatever, and she was like, hey, I wasn't paying attention, because yeah, if there's a conversation already going like in the group chat and I'm not reading, if I like, let's say I have a conversation before I woke up, I'm not gonna read like every last message. Like, it's just, I'm gonna read what I can see on my screen. I'm not gonna keep scrolling through the whole message. So she had wrote in the chat about a party, and she was like, oh yeah, we gotta get 3 tickets or whatever, and the tickets are $25, yada yada. So I'm like, what tickets are $25? Tickets for the movie? We're talking about the movie, we're talking about the party. Oh, I also thought she was talking about Slate. I didn't know, like, we need tickets to get into Slate. So I got confused for a second, and she was like, no, we're talking about this party that I want us to go to. I was like, oh, okay. Mind you, we did all of that, and we didn't buy the tickets. We didn't buy the tickets that day. Like, we did not. I'm talking about like days before the actual movie day. We didn't even buy tickets that day. So the day finally comes where we're supposed to go to the movies, and Queen is like, oh, movies today? So she's like, wait, and we're going to the movies today? So Diamond, again, right, pay attention. I know she's probably going to watch this like, girl, that's your fault. No, it's your fault. So Diamond, again, is like, yeah, we're going to the movies on 42nd Street. And then we're going to Slate after. Like, we're going to movies and Slate today. I just said movie and Slate. So since we didn't buy them on time, that showtime that we were supposed to get on that day, even though they had 3 available seats, that showtime was a dub or whatever that I was looking at. So then Diamond goes into one, and she looks at some, I guess, like, she was like, oh, Diamond goes in, looks at a theater, and I'm assuming the one on 42nd Street, looks at the theater, and she said there's no seats for 8, no seats for 9, the only one available is for 10:45. So I'm like, okay, seats for 10:45 is fine. And then she sent me 3 seats, which I thought was awkward in the first place. Not really awkward, but you know how, like, when you go to one of those theaters where you select seats, the seats are like connected, like 2. So she sent me 3 seats where 2 seats are connected, and then 1 seat was by itself. So I'm like, okay, like, you know, someone must be alone tonight, which is fine because I go out by myself. You know, like, the movies is something that I would do by myself. Getting a drink at the bar, hoping nobody bothers me. I like to do that by myself. Go get my pedicures, massages. I just go out by myself, so it's nothing. So I'm like, okay, maybe somebody's out by themselves or whatever. And since I'm used to that, I'll take that seat. Like, I'll be the seat next to the random person. Why did I do that? So I just said her name. So Diamond gets the tickets or whatever for the 10:45. She was like, yeah, the tickets are for 10:45 or whatever. Like, you know, that's usually like, and in my mind I'm thinking, I like going to the movies late anyway. I don't, like, I'm not a child. I like the real late. The latest one, if the last movie's at 12:30, I'm going at 12:30. I love it. Don't ask me why. I don't know. You guys know that I am a night owl. Okay, I like to work and do things in the nighttime. So I was like, you know, 10:45 is cool, whatever. And but in my mind I'm thinking, you know, but the late movies are usually the rowdiest ones. When if something happens, like usually something never happens, but if it happens, it's usually in a late movie. So I should have kept that in mind. And mind you, she was like, yeah, the tickets are for 10:45 on 42nd Street. She kept saying on 42nd Street, on 42nd Street, on 42nd Street. So okay, boom, on 42nd Street. And then I literally sent a voice note in the group chat, y'all. I'm like, yeah, you know, we got to get there at 10:45 because even though there's 15 minutes of commercials and, you know, advertisement, meaning that the actual film starts at 11. So I'm like, even though there's you know, advertisement and stuff, people, anytime I go to the movies for reserved seating, people are always in your seat. I don't know what they thought this was. I don't know why people do that. And then when you tell them to get up, they got an attitude like, sis, I paid for these seats, I'm gonna get these seats. Yeah, you gotta get on. They want to start their team. I'm sorry, I was reminiscing because it was this one time, oh, this boy was getting me so mad. He was acting like y'all can't just sit somewhere else. No, why can't you sit somewhere else? You're at my seat. Anyways, yes, I sent a group note. I sent a voice note in the group chat saying, you know, let's try to get that 10:45 because people are always in our seats, and I don't feel like having any drama tonight. I want this to be a drama-free night, and it was not that. So they're like, okay. So nighttime comes or whatever, and you know, it's getting close to when the movies are starting. So I think like at 10:30, they probably wrote me like, where you at? And I'm like, well, what do you mean where I'm at? I'm like 2 blocks away. Like I'm by Red Lobster. If you are from New York and you know 42nd Street, you know where Red Lobster is. So I'm like by Red Lobster, turning around the block. And then I get out the cab, and it was like, oh, okay, we're in front or whatever. So when I get out the cab, I'm like, hey, I'm here. Like, hello, I'm here. Well, yeah, I don't see nothing. Like, I know my vision is bad, but it's not that bad. They're like, where? Like, we don't see you. Like, how are you? I'm like, how you don't see me? Like, I'm here in front. Mind you, you know what's so scary? Because it was these 2 girls sitting in front, and like, you know, when you greet your friends, you might do something silly. So thank God when I finally got up close, I noticed that wasn't them, and I didn't do nothing silly like, hey girl, and hit them. Thank God. But I'm like, you can't be in front because I'm in front and I know I'm not going crazy. So they was like, no, we're in front. I'm like, what theater? Because there's only 2 on 42nd Street and one of them closed down, so there's only one technically. They're right across the street from each other. They're like, oh, the theater is da da da, and they give the address, and I'm like, that's not 42nd Street. That's not 42nd Street. So now me and Diamond's going back and forth. She's like, oh girl, the address is on the ticket. I'm like, it doesn't matter. If you say the movie's on 42nd Street, me being from the city, I don't need an address. Like, I do not need an address. If you tell me the Red Lobster on 42nd, I don't need an address. Even when I type in even if I type it in or whatever on my Uber Eats, I was thinking about food. Even if I type it in on my Uber or whatever, I type in the name of the place and I just take it there. I don't look at the address. And then if you're telling me the movie's on 42nd, I know that one. So I don't need to look at an address on a ticket because I know exactly where to go. You understand what I'm saying? So I never look. She's like, oh, well, the address is right there. Da da da. So I'm like, where? All right. So where am I going? Because at this point, I'm ready to turn back around and go home. She's like, oh, the movie theater is on 34th Street and 14th Street. I'm like, Diamond, the movie theater that y'all at cannot be on 34th Street and 14th Street. There's no correlation. Those 2 points don't mix. You can't be on 34th Street and 14th Street at the same time. I'm like, you can be on 34th Street and 7th Avenue or 34th Street and 2nd Avenue. What? She's like, the ticket says 34th Street and 14th Street. I'm like, you cannot be on 34th Street and 14th at the same time. So we just going back and forth at this time. I'm like, she's like, well, I don't know, I'm not GPS. She hit me with that again, I'm not GPS. So I'm just like, yo, at this point, I'm ready to go home because like, what the, like what? So I go to Google or whatever, and I'm trying to type it in, can't find it. So I go to the ticket. I'm like, let me just look at this dang ticket again. So I go to it, I look at the ticket or whatever, and the ticket says like 34th West 14. Anyway, the 34 to 14, I can't remember. The 34 to 14, one of them was the actual number to the building, like not 34th Street, 14th Street. So I'm like, I found it, whatever, and I'm coming, like, bye. So I'm frustrated. So I'm on my way or whatever, and I was like, now I gotta spend money taking an Uber again. It's better be right there because I'm ready to dip already. So I get there again and I don't see nobody outside. So I'm like, okay, like I'm a couple minutes late. I'm like, it probably had to be like 10:50. I just had to pause. So it's like, those people are literally so loud, this beeping noise. Anyways, yeah, so I get there, I pull up or whatever, and I'm like, okay, let me just hurry up and go inside. Maybe they're inside already, maybe they have our seats, I don't see them. I'm already frustrated. I'm like, I'm not calling them, I'm just gonna go inside. So I get inside or whatever, and nobody is there. Like, my friends wise, nobody is there or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'm like, maybe they getting popcorn, I don't know. So there's like a jacket and a rag, and remember the one seater, I said, like, I had the one seater or whatever. There's like a jacket and a rag there, and like, I'm like, the rag is like sweaty, like I could see that it's like wet. I'm like, I don't know, because you know people get busy in the movie theater. I don't know if like kids still do that. I was like, I hope I'm not sitting next to no nasty little freaky people and they want to come in here and they want to do their little thing. Like, no, that's not happening. Little did I know I was sitting next to a way worse. So I text them like, where y'all at or whatever, like, what's good? They're like, oh, we coming upstairs now or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool, waiting for them, watching the previews or whatever. So I'm paying attention to the screen or whatever, you know, looking at the new movies that are coming out. And from the left corner of my eye, I see somebody strutting in the movie theater. Like, when I say strutting, like, coming in the movie theater like this. So I'm like, oh God, like, I'm talking so much crap in my head, right? I'm like, oh God, like, he already look like he about to come in here and just act a fool in the movie theater. So that's what I get for opening my mouth, because he coming in strutting like, somebody coming in strutting or whatever. So I'm like, oh God, right? Tell me why the seat that had the washcloth, I can't stop laughing because me thinking about this thing is that crazy. The seat that had the washcloth and a jacket in there was his. Like, so he grabbed his stuff or whatever. He's just doing the most. I don't know why. And I'm just like, let me just focus on the screen. I text him like, yo, like, where y'all at? Like, what's goody? Like, what's taking y'all so long? Y'all was here before me. Remember, I went all the way to 42nd Street. So I'm like, okay, minding my business or whatever. So he pick up his rag and his jacket. He pick up his bag and his jacket, and he was like, oh well, cause remember it's a two-seater. So he's like, oh, I guess we sitting together. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So he pauses. I didn't say yeah, whatever. I'm very nice, and y'all gonna see in the story that I'm very nice. So he's like, oh, I guess we sitting together. I'm like, yeah, we sitting together. So he stopped. When I said that, like, he was sitting up and he stopped and he was like, ah. And he was looking. I'm like, oh my God, does he know me? Like, what's going on? He about to be like, oh girl, you was messing with somebody I know, even though I know that's not true because I don't mess with literally anybody, and I have never messed with well, not that, but you guys know that I'm a demisexual, so there can't be a lot of people out there that's like, oh, you used to mess with this, that, and the third. So I'm just like, oh my God. He's like, ah. He's standing up. He's like, ah. He turned around. He's like, you is mad pretty. Like, oh my God. He was like, all right, so I guess you my friend for the movie theater. Like, you my friend for the movie. Mind you guys, I'm like a chameleon, okay? So whatever energy you give off, I'm gonna either match it or it's gonna make me nervous. So he's like, oh my God, like, you is mad pretty. Like, oh my God, I like, sis, like, I guess we sitting together for the movie theater or whatever. I guess we sitting together for the movie. Oh my God, like, let me stand up, like, let me see you. First of all, hi, how are you today? Like, oh my God. So I'm like, no, I don't want to stand up. Like, he was like, wow, what's to stand up? I just want, because you mad pretty. Like, I guess we sitting together. Like, girl, you watch the other ones? Like, you watch the other movies or whatever? Like, oh my God, like, I've seen the other ones. I remember, like, I'm like, yeah, I remember the other ones. Like, I'm getting anxiety because he's giving me anxiety. Like, he like, yeah, we friends for the movies or whatever. He pulls out a container, a big silver flask or whatever, and he like, here. And he puts the container in my face, and I'm just like, what is this? Like, what is it? He had, what was it? Was it Becca? I hope I'm pronouncing the liquor right. It was something in the bottle. Y'all, please don't judge me in the comments, because I know, like, you got the pox happening. Like, I don't know about how sensitive these systems are, so I'm gonna just say the pox. You got the pox happening, you got the vid going around, you got all of this stuff. Y'all, I don't know. When I tell y'all, his energy just made me so nervous. His energy just made me so nervous when he came in there and did all of that I couldn't even get a chance to breathe and think and remember where I was. So he was like, yeah, have a sip over there, take a sip over there. We getting drunk in here, girl. We gonna have a good time. You turning up. I'm like, hey, where's my friend? So he gives me a sip of the liquor, y'all, and I drank it. I drank right off the thing. I know. Please don't bash me in the comments. And he's like, oh, that was mad. Like, why would you do that? Like, it's so much stuff going around. I know. I know, but I don't know. Like, I know, but I don't know why I did that. It had to be, I'm telling you, it was his energy. Like, y'all, you see how out of breath I am? Like, even me telling the story, I'm feeling the way I felt in the movie theater. Like, yeah, like, it was like, like, this, you ever saw that meme of that kid? I don't know, I think he's listening to music and he like that's how I felt. Or the Mr. Krabs meme when he's dizzy and doesn't know what's going on. That's how I felt. So I took a sip of it, and my mom's like, why would you do that? Why would you take a sip of his liquor? So he gave me a sip or whatever, and he pulled out something else. I forgot what it was. They tried to give it to me, and I was like, nah, I'm good. I think it was like brownies. I'm like, oh no, I had a bad experience. I'm good. He's like, you sure? We getting lit in here, we getting fucked up in here, we gonna have a good time in the movie theater. And I'm like, no, like, I'm okay, I'm good, trust me. So now my late friends finally come strutting in the movie theater, and when they came into the theater or whatever, they started laughing. So I couldn't put together what they was laughing at, but they were laughing like, oh, and they started laughing. So I'm like, okay, whatever they laughing at, maybe it just came from somewhere, and something was funny or whatever the case may be. But the relief I felt when they walked into the movie theater, I'm like, all right, thank you, like, I'm not by myself anymore. And the name that we're gonna give the boy, we're gonna call him Dewey. We're gonna call him Dewey, and you're gonna see why we're gonna call him Dewey, because when I hear his voice in my head, all I hear is Dewey. All I hear is Dewey, and you're gonna see why. But we're gonna call him Dewey. So mind you, they hear whatever, but he's still talking to me. He like, yeah, he's telling me his whole life, y'all. I can't even remember his name. I can't remember his name, but he's like, yeah. He was like, I'm a Gemini, whatever, and you know how Geminis get down. Like, I'm a Gemini, I'm bad crazy, and you know, I'm drunk right now, but I'm lit, about to have a good time or whatever. I'm like, oh, you a Gemini? And me trying to be as, I'm like, yeah, I'm a Libra, like team air sign, spirit thinkers. I'm like, yeah, I'm a Libra, cool, whatever, da 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 da. Like, he like, yeah, tell me about his day. He like, yeah, girl, like, I went here today or whatever, and like people was acting mad, da da da. I don't want to curse, guys. You know I don't curse on my channel, so I'm just like really filtering it. But he was going in, and he like, yeah, when people was acting mad time or whatever, like I don't da da da, then I went here whatever, got drunk, and you know, like I could be by myself with the main character energy and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, I get it. So now my friend is going back, my friends walking whatever. Diamond is here and Queen is here, and Diamond is also a Gemini. So me trying my best to get the attention off of me, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, this is blah blah, like introducing my friend. I'm like, this is blah blah. I'm like, this is my friend too. Like, yeah, she team Gemini. Like, yeah, y'all Geminis. Go ahead, talk. He like, you was a Gemini. He like, sis, I'm a Gemini. Like, you know, that's why I already felt your energy when you went to the movie theater, because I'm a Gemini too. Like, I'm a Gemini. Blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah, Gemini, talk. Yeah, talk. He like, you want some liquor? He passed it to her. I pass it to her because girl, I ain't going down by myself. I pass it to her. I'm like, here, it's whatever he had to go. I'm like, here, just take a sip. He gave me a sip. Just please. So I think she fake sipped it. I don't know what she did. I think she really took a sip, or I think that girl had her own licks or whatever. It must be a Gemini thing, because she always bring her own licks anywhere. I'm like, yo, just sip it and please just, I can't, I gotta focus. He's like, Gemini, yes. Like, I'm like, yeah, we're actually all air signs. Like, you're a Gemini, I'm a Libra, she's a Gemini, and then Queen over there minding her business, and she lucky she got that seat because she don't be with it. So Queen is a Aquarius, so literally all 3 of the air signs. So it was like, yeah, we all air. He like, yes, air sign, like, yeah, like I knew already, like I had the perfect seat. If only I could have that same thought that I got the perfect seat, but I didn't. He's like, yes, like, you know, going off or whatever. So I'm like eating my friend's snacks, really trying to calm down and be like, oh my god, you know that song, y'all might be too young. I'm also young, but like I know a lot of older people. That song is like, let me not sing it, I'm out of my mind, I don't want no copyright. But anyway, tonight's gonna be a night to remember. Like that's what I was hearing in my head. If you if you know the song, then you know. So I know this already sounds like a lot, but the movie hasn't even started yet. So I'm sitting there eating my friend's candy like it's a 5-star meal because I was starving. And then he's trying to like offer me more stuff out of his little backpack, and I'm like, Dora, no, I don't want whatever concoction, whatever bar you have in your backpack, I don't want no more. I'm like, nah, I'm good. He was like, why? Like every time I denied him, I kind of felt bad, but he was just like, why? Like, you don't want? I'm like, no, because I haven't ate anything, so I don't want to look. He's like, oh, okay, I understand. I understand. Then 2 minutes later, he'll ask me like, you want something? And I'll repeat myself like, no, I really don't, because my stomach, like, he like, oh, okay, I understand. I get it. I'm like, yo, I just told you that he'll do it again and again. Like, oh my god. So now he's just talking to me until the movie starts. He like, yeah, he like says like, you was mad pretty, like, oh my god. And mind you, I am a very humble person when needed, because if I have to turn up on somebody and let them know who I am, I will. But like, yeah, like, you know, I'm just repeating myself and saying thank you. Like, I really do appreciate it, because nobody has to compliment you, okay? Them little Instagram girls or whoever feels like, I know I'm pretty, you don't have to tell me, like, girl, nobody gonna compliment you. So I'm, you know, I'm saying thank you. He's like, yeah, you mad pretty, like, stand up, like, and he like, he was like, I know. And I don't know, he must have seen, but it's like, you can't see in a chair. I don't think so. He was like, I already know, like, your body crazy, like, I already know you got your body done, he like, stand up for me, stand up. I'm like, I'm not gonna stand up for you, like, we in the theater, the movie's about to start. I was like, but I'll show you a picture. He was like, I knew it, like, you know how, like, it's just giving main character. His thing was like main character energy. He's like, oh, it's just giving main character energy. He's like, oh, you know when you see a group or whatever, you could just tell who's that main character. And I'm like, I don't care what nobody says. I think everybody's a main character in their own life. There's no main character because you're the girl that, you know, dresses or whatever the case may be. Everybody's a main character in some way. Everybody brings something to the friendship that the next group can't give. Like, if there's a friendship of 5, this one girl can give all 4 of them something that they can't give. This one girl can give all 4 of them something that they can't give. So the whole I'm the main character of the friend group thing, like, that's just not giving. So that didn't really hype me up. So I'm just ignoring him saying that. Like, maybe the way he acted, he must be the main character of his friend group. Like, but me, my friends, we don't have that mindset. We don't think like that. That whole main character, just, you're the main. Yes, you are a main character, but in your own life, okay? Not like I'm the boss of this group type of thing. Like, go sit down with that. And it's usually the narcissists that say stuff like that. Anyway, we all look at each other as equals, mind you. We're like all kind of different in a way. Like, there's no, like, we all are really different. Like, it's so weird. But those are my girls, we all equal and we love each other equal, okay? Shut up with that. So the movie finally starts or whatever, and he's not really loud, but he's not really quiet either, okay? Mind you, this is a theater full of people, because like I said, this movie was lit, everybody wanted to go see it. So the movie starts or whatever, and I gotta like remember the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, it's gonna be somewhat a spoiler alert, because he was talking to the screen the whole time, so I have to tell you guys what happened. And but I can't even really remember what happened, because he was the main character, okay? This was his movie. He started Scream. So from what I can remember, there were like 7 teenagers or whatever, and he like, so who you think the killer is? And I'm like, oh my god, like, I think that the killer is the one with the, I'm really talking back to him, y'all, because like I said, I'm just so nice. I don't know. So I'm really talking about him. I'm like, I think it's the one with the, it's always the one you don't think is the killer or whatever. Mind you, y'all would have thought we was like at home on our couch, but I'm not being loud. I'm being very silent. But even being silent in the movie theater is loud. Like, you ever opened up a bag? You ever opened up a bag of nachos in a movie or try to get some popcorn? Everything is like so loud. So I'm just telling him, I'm like, oh, I think that this one's the killer. He like, yeah, because he definitely look like the killer over there. Like that one with the hair, that one, yeah, because girl, see, we on the same page. Like I knew I could. That's why we here with it. That's why he looked like the killer. Like, yeah, I'm gonna say him. Oh no, I'm gonna say him right there. That one right there, he looks like the killer or whatever. He look like he could be the killer. I think he gonna be the killer. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, yeah, we really don't know. We gotta like watch the movie. So my friend, so Simon is sitting laughing like, okay, and then Queen's over there, and I know in her mind she's like quiet, but I know in her mind she was like, oh my god, like this can't be, like, thank god I got the seat furthest away from him, but this can't be. I know in her mind she was talking mad crap, like, oh my god. So now that he's yelling at the TV and now that he's yelling at the screen, you know, a couple scenes go by, and I'm trying to remember what was happening. I think somebody was in the shower, and then he's like, don't go in there. Hey, yo, I don't even want to say it, but he's like, these people, he's like, them people is mad. This word, because yeah, I need my coins from YouTube, okay? So I don't be trying to say nothing that even can possibly get me, you know. So he's like, oh my god, these people, they mad because, like, why would you go in there? Don't go in there, don't go in there. So at this time, people are starting to just suck their teeth and grunt. They're like, oh my god. So I'm like, oh my god. I text my friend like, oh my god, like, people are starting to get annoyed. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, and we just sitting each other like, yo, every time, like, not every time, but sometimes we go out, it's always something crazy. So I'm just like, you know what, it's not, let's just sit back and enjoy the movie. Like, no, because we're gonna sit here and grunt like the rest of them the whole time. Like, you got choice, you could leave and get your money back, or you could sit here and watch it. We're just gonna sit here and watch it, like, whatever. So in my mind now, I just have to think, like, who is he here with? Like, is he here with nobody? Like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? Like, this can't be real. Like, there's no way you're by yourself and you're this turned up, y'all. He was so turned up. I wish I had recorded this so that I could remember. Oh my gosh, y'all. So he starts, this is what I think he was turning up for. He started going live in the theater, and I'm like, oh my god, I hope he don't put that camera on me, y'all. He pulled out his phone. I just remember. This is why it's important, I think, to do your story times, like when they just now happen, because you start to forget things. So, like, little details. So he pulls out his phone, he goes on Instagram, and he goes live, and then he's just like, now that he's live, like, now you know he put it in the show. Now they like, oh my god, don't go in there. You see that knife, girl? That knife is mad big. Like, don't go in there. He's over the top now. I'm like, yeah, he's doing that because he's live, and he's also doing that because just the way he is, obviously. I'm like, oh my gosh. And again, people are sucking their teeth, grunting, like, oh my god, bro. Like, now they're starting to say little words like, bro, like, seriously, like, da da da. I'm like, oh my god. Then he pulls out, I think it was, can't remember if it was a vape or if it was trees, but he pulls out, he keeps trying to offer me, and I'm like, no. Then he pulls out the bottle to trying to offer it to me, and I'm like, no. He's like, why? Sis, why? Like, why? Like, I don't know what you're thinking. If you thinking if I drink this whole thing, like, I'm gonna be as turned up as you, that's not gonna happen. Mind you, I'm getting all the heat because my friend is over here and I'm in this one seater, like, with him. So he like, sis, why? I'm like, I'm good. I told you my stomach. He's like, oh, your stomach, cause you need nothing. Oh, okay. I'm like, yo, like, what? Are you serious? He would end the live, go live again, end the live, go live again, end the live, go live again. That was like his routine. So now we get to the part of the movie where people really start to, you know, unalive, and now he starts screaming and yelling even more, like, really like, oh my god, I told you don't go in there. I told you don't go in there. And now people stop grunting, then now they're actually saying something. They're like, oh my god, shut up. God, you serious? Like, be quiet. Like, little things though, like grunting and stuff like that. And you know, like everything, like everybody is, I don't want to get spiritual, but everything is like a chain reaction. Like one person starts saying stuff, and everybody is gonna start saying stuff. Like nobody really starts saying anything until one person says something. Then everybody got comfortable with saying like, oh my God, be quiet. Like I'm trying to watch the movie, stuff like that. He just ignores them, thank God, and he starts yelling some more like, oh my God, da, 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 like yeah, because nobody's telling me nothing and stuff like that. So here's where he really got turned up. Alright, so first of all, I'm a big fan of Friends, and I never knew that Monica was in Friends. Like, she was somebody that was in Friends. Never knew that. I never, like, sometimes people look different in movies. Like I said, I am like a horror movie fanatic, but I never put the two together. I never noticed that. Yeah, so he's like, oh my God, that's yada yada yada. Like he starts seeing people that he notices from the past movies, and he's just getting overly excited, and everybody's like, oh my God, shut the up, be quiet. He like, cause what happened? Cause yeah, what happened? Oh, nobody telling me nothing. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I thought, right, friend? I'm like, yeah, cause nobody's telling you nothing, right? Like I wasn't hyping him up, y'all. I was just agreeing with him so he could be quiet. I'm like, yeah, because they don't want no smoke, right, friend? Right, yeah. So this is where he just went. This must have really hurt his feelings, y'all. This must have really hurt Dewey's feelings, because if y'all know, in the scary movie, there is Officer Dewey. First of all, when he first seen Officer Dewey, like when in the beginning of the movie, he was like, that's Dewey! Oh my God, that's Dewey! That's Officer Dewey! Officer Dewey! You remember Officer Dewey from the other one says? That's Officer Dewey! Da, 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 da. I'm like, oh my God, like my head, I'm telling you, it was moving like that meme. I'm just like, oh my God. So sorry, spoiler alert. In the movie, Officer Dewey dies, okay? And at that point, when Officer Dewey died, you would have thought he was like a grandma or like an auntie. Like, y'all know the ones that when they go to funerals, they over exaggerate, like, oh my baby, oh my God, no, let's go, why you could have took me. Like, that's what he was acting like he was going like, no sis, they killed Zoe, I'm mad, I'm about to go over everybody they killed Zoe. Oh my God, how could they kill Officer Zoe? Oh my God. Like and from the point where when they had unalived Officer Dewey, all the way down to the point, like, he would not let that go throughout the whole movie. Like, it would be 3 minutes, he would be quiet, and then he would continue like, oh my God, sis, like, I can't believe they killed, nah sis, I'm about to go off, I'm about to give it out, they killed Dewey, da da da. Like, I can't believe this. I'm like, yo, you saw them kill Dewey like 10 minutes ago. Like, I didn't say it, but in my mind, and everybody's like, oh my God. Now they don't care, they out with it, like, oh my God, shut up. Like, they don't, he like, cause what happened? Cause yeah, what happened? He like, well, no, friend, hold on. Goes in his little Dora the Explorer backpack, pulls out a taser, put it in there. Cause what happened? The whole theater gets quiet. Like, the whole theater got quiet. Cause it happened. Mind you, I'm next to him. I'm like, oh my God. And even Diamond next to me is jumping like, oh my God. Like, no, he did not just pull out a taser. He like, cause what happened? Oh, cause yeah. Cause alright. Cause yeah. I'm like, they don't want no smoke, friend. Put it away, it's okay. Put it away, it's okay. They don't want no smoke. So time goes by in the movie, and at this point everybody is yelling at him, like really yelling at him or whatever the case may be. And he was like, you know what, friend? He was like, before I do anything, I'm about to go to the bathroom. I gotta take a break real quick. He's like, I'm about to go to the bathroom, I gotta take a break. He leaves, and the movie is actually peaceful for like a good 20-25 minutes. I'm not gonna lie, he leaves out the movie theater. So I'm thinking that he left. Like, he's drunk, he ain't coming back. I'm thinking that he left. He struts into the theater again. Mind you, people see him come back and they're like, oh my God. Like, you can hear them in the row behind us. They're like, oh my God. And when he came back, he was like turned up times 10. Like, even more, screaming. Like, and he went live again. So he was like showing off, screaming even more. So at this point, the whole theater is over it. So he does it again, same little thing, yelling, screaming. Everybody's like, oh my God, be quiet. He gets up, cause what happened? Yeah, cause we want to fight. We could fight. Like, his energy And y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all at the end though. I'm gonna tell y'all at the end. So so at this point, I'm guessing that they have had it. Okay, the people have had it. They want to speak to a manager. It's over. Like, you know, they had it with him. So all we see from the side of us is like a flashlight, like from my right side, from where Queen was sitting. All we see was a flashlight, like a flashlight directed into Queen's face. And she's just like, can you not do that? Like, what are you doing? So I look over and there's a guy or whatever, and he's flashing light in her face, and I can't really hear because, like I said, it's like 2-3 seats over. But from what I did hear, he's telling her something. She's like, yeah, but we don't know him. Like, you can't do that. We don't know him, or whatever the case may be. And he's also looking like, because what happened? Because he's on 10. Because we're his best friends now. He's known us for 10 years. He gonna ride for us. Like, that was his energy. So the guy is like flashing light on him. We're like, we don't know him. Like, you can't do that to us. Like, get that light out. Like, get that light out of my face. Point blank. Period. So I don't know whose dad this was. We're gonna call him Dad. So I don't know whose dad this was, guys. He gets up. I don't know who he thought he was. The macho man. I don't know who he thought he was, and why would he think this was okay to do this. First of all, he was older. He had to be at least 45, 50 years old. Okay, he was with his girlfriend and or his wife, or whatever the case may be. He was in his dad clothes. You know, like, why would you think he looked like he belonged flipping burgers on a grill? Okay, he let's just say he was somebody's dad. So he gets up, storms past me. He gets up, he storms past Queen, storms past Diamond, storms past me, get to the dude, okay, get to Dewey, and he's just standing over Dewey, and I'm like, oh my god, no, you gotta be kidding me. Not right next to me. This is not happening right now. Like, this is more exciting than the movie. I don't even care about what's going on over there. So he gets up, he's like, why are you standing up over me? What happened? He's like, you're loud and you're disruptive and you destroyed the whole entire movie and da-da-da. And then he gets up. I don't know what he thought was going to happen. I don't know if he thought like he was going to sit next to him and babysit him, or I don't know if he thought that he was going to sit next to him and he was going to be quiet. Like, ooh, you're sitting next to me, I'm going to be quiet. Like, I really can't tell you what he thought, guys. He got up, sat next to Dewey, and he sat on Dewey's jacket, which is kind of disrespectful, because it's like, sir, even though he is disruptive, like, you're gonna get disrespectful. He didn't get disrespectful with you directly. He's obviously just intoxicated, or whatever the case may be. He gets up and he sits on his jacket, like he sits on all his belongings, and I'm like, that's nasty. Like, get your butt. Why you? What? So he's like, all right. He was like, you're being disruptive. Da, da, da. So he sits next to him. And he's like, all right, but get off my jacket though. All right, but get off my jacket though. But get off my jacket though. You get off my jacket. So he's trying to pull his jacket. Mind you, he's not getting off his jacket. Like, at least if you're gonna sit next to him or whatever the case may be, whatever you thought, whatever plan you had in your head, get up off this boy's jacket. So, and then down by like where Queen is or whatever, his girlfriend, wife, whatever, she's like, Tom, please stop. Just let it go. Just come on. Just come back. Come sit down and watch the rest of the movie. Just come on, Tom. Let it. His name's not Tom, but I don't know what his name was. Dad, we can call him Dad. Not Dad. That's his girlfriend. I don't want to seem awkward. But anyway, that's just like the Tom. So she's like, Tom, just please, just come sit down, Pat. Just please, oh my gosh, just come sit down. So he's not listening. He wants to be her hero, which is so romantic understanding. He wants to be his hero, her hero, or whatever. And he's still sitting on his jacket, which is like, just get off it. If you're going to sit there, if you're going to think you're going to quiet him, just get off his jacket. Like, he's purposely not getting off his jacket. He's like, all right, but get off my jacket though. He's not getting off his jacket. So now Dewey stands up over him, and Dad is sitting there, and Dad had made a sudden move, and when I tell you, Dewey took Dad, it must have been the liquor power or something. Dewey took Dad and yoked him up, and I didn't feel bad, but I felt bad. This is an older man, and Dewey is like, has to be our age, in his teens and his 20s type of thing. He had to be at least like 21, 20. Took Dad, yoked him up, okay, really yoked him up, and now they're tussling, and they're going back and forth, tussling right next to us, and I'm like, oh my god. And now his girlfriend is just like, Tom, please just stop, just come sit down, please just leave it alone. And Dewey is on dad choking him. I'm like, oh my god, he's over there turning red, looking like Santa Claus. I'm like, oh my god, this is horrible. So me and my friends is looking like, yeah, is this really happening? Mind you, we didn't move, we didn't budge. No, I'm joking. No, I'm lying. We did budge. Like when he had yoked him up, it was scary. So we was like, oh nah. So we had budged over a little bit. Like we moved over a little bit, and it was just scary because it's like, oh, this older man. Like she's like, Tom, just please stop. So once dad realized that he wasn't winning that little tussle, that little fight or whatever, he got up, went back to his seat, which is like, you should never got up in the first place, because now that's mad embarrassing. Like why would you do that? That's so embarrassing. So now Dewey sits back in his shit. He's like, yeah, cause I don't know what they thought this was. He was like, you know what, friend? He was like, I'm leaving, cause I don't want no cops not involved. I'm leaving or whatever. And he was like, I'm parked outside. You could come outside. I'm parked outside. You could come outside, and I'm gonna take you home or whatever. I'm like, like you're not taking me home. Like you're in my mind, like you're drunk. I'm like, no, my friend is driving me. He's like, no, I'm gonna take you. Like he's like, yo, friend, I'm telling you, mind you, he's not leaving yet. He's like, give me your number. Let me get your number or whatever. I'm like, you don't have Instagram? Like I don't want to give you my number. I can't remember if I got his Instagram or not, y'all. I really can't remember, but I do know that I got his number. And he like, yeah, friend. He was like, yeah, cause he was like, what you be doing? Like what you? Did you just get into a whole tussle? Why are you so calm? He was like, what you be doing or whatever? I'm out of here, whatever. Like, what you be? I'm like, I do a lot. Like, I party. You feel me? Like, I like to go out there. He's like, me so friend. He's like, nah, we gotta link or whatever. He like, yeah, cause I could be your best friend. He was like, yeah, you could be. Let me tell you what he said, y'all. He was like, yeah, I could be your best friend. He was like, yo, you could be on the phone. Like, we could be on the phone together. You could be blowing wood. Basically he said it a lot worse, but like I said, I'm trying to keep my YouTube clean. He's like, you could be like, you know, blowing chop or whatever, and I'll be on the phone like, yeah, friend, suck that, da da da, like, yeah, friend, do that. I'm like, yo, this dude is wild. But you know what's the crazy part about it, yo? I can tell that he had a very good soul. Like he wasn't a bad person. He just had a bad night. Okay, like, you know, sometimes we do silly things. Sometimes we do things we're like, why would I do that? Or why did I even let that go that far? But I can tell that he was not a bad person. Like honestly, I can tell he was a very genuine, loving person. He probably even goes out of his way for people. Like I can tell that. So I did give him a number, and I did give him my number, and I was like, you know what, if he ever wanted to go to like a hookah bar, I would go with him. I would go with him. And I'm thinking like maybe he's just a little too intoxicated tonight. Like, you know, sometimes you gotta give people another chance, and if I go with him another time he does it again, then it's clip. But I'm like, maybe, you know, like, I'm like, maybe he's a cool person. So yeah, I gave him my number, and you know, but I really did. I just wanted to keep it like Instagram, keep it cordial. I would never go with him by myself. I would have to be with people. And so he leaves out the theater or whatever, and I just had to pause again because people don't know how to be quiet. Anyway, he leaves outside of the theater, and I had to relax anyway because I was getting like like I was getting excited telling the story. But he leaves out of the theater or whatever the case may be, and he's like, yeah, friend, I'm gonna wait for you outside, da da da. So in my mind, I'm thinking he's gonna come back in the theater because he already left and came back inside of the theater. And so he ends up not coming back. Thank God he didn't come back. And I'm like, okay, movie's over. I'm like, can we not go to the bathroom for a hot minute, because that whole movie was crazy. I knew what happened, but it was like I couldn't even really focus. I'm like, can we go to the bathroom, because he had said that he's waiting outside for me to drop me off home, and he looked like he's not gonna take no for an answer. So my friend is like, he's not waiting out there for you, girl. Like, he's probably long gone by now. I'm like, no, kid, let's just go to the bathroom. We gotta use the bathroom anyway. Just go to the bathroom and just wait there for like a couple minutes. So when we get in the bathroom, somebody walks into the bathroom, and somebody is dad's girlfriend. I just keep saying girlfriend because she gave me girlfriend vibes. I don't know, she gave me younger girlfriend to him. So she walks in or whatever, and you can already tell she's like side-eyeing, like looking like like, you and your ghetto friend ruined the whole movie for me and Tom. Like, that's how she's looking. But so we looking back at her, and I could already tell she wanted to say something. So I just end up saying something. I'm like, for the record, we did not know him. We don't know him. You know, we don't know him. That's what we were trying to tell Dad, that we don't know him. She was like, oh, okay. Like, and she literally did one of those, but it was like I don't care. It looked like you guys were together. I don't care. Like, that's how attitude. Like, the O was just so dramatic, and it just gave me fake. Like, we were like, yeah, we don't know him, and then she's like, oh, that's where you are. Oh, okay, I understand. Right. Like, it was given one of those, like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I'm like, no, she could believe whatever she want to believe. Movie over, what you want to do? But I really go get my friend. Nah, I would never do. But yeah, so we stood there in the bathroom for like 15 minutes or good. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was really scared to come out. I'm like, no, he's out there waiting, because if he left out the movie for 30 minutes and came back, he gotta be out there waiting. Like, they're like, no, I'm pretty sure he's not there no more. So we waited, and getting something to eat and going to sleep was like out of the question. First of all, we weren't dressed for that, and then second of all, it was just too much with that happening. Like, that happening was just a lot, or whatever the case may be. So we get downstairs into the lobby. I don't see him. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like, let me hurry up and call my cab right here for y'all. And mind you, while I'm calling my cab, y'all, I'm tucked in the corner, because I'm like, he's somewhere. He's gonna pop up like, friend, beep, beep, beep. I told you I was gonna drop you off. So I hurry up, hop in my cab, and I'm good. Like, I'm good to go. And since I had his number, y'all, like I said, I am a very nice person, so I did text him. I was like, hey, I think I texted him either the next morning or a couple hours later. I'm like, hey, I'm home safely. Hope you had a good time tonight, and I hope that, you know, you sober up, and, you know, let me know that you got home safe, because if he's driving and he's that drunk, I really do hope he got home safe. I never got a text back from him, so yeah, I can't even say what happened to him or what might have happened to him. Hopefully he just got home safe and he had a good night. I really do hope that, because I never got a text back, and he doesn't seem like the type to just be like, who the hell, I'm ignoring. Like, so I don't know what happened to him. Hopefully he's okay. If I ever see him again, I'll be like, hey, do you remember me from the movies? But he probably won't even remember me. Like, he won't remember me. I don't know, but hopefully he's safe. I'm safe. We good. Yeah, but that was my story time about that crazy fight and crazy dude at the movies. Okay, so like I always say, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so that you can get notified every single time that I upload. Also, make sure you guys go ahead and follow me on Instagram at jaiye.pierre, and on TikTok at jaiye_. If for some reason you don't have TikTok or Instagram, I'm going to leave a list right here on the screen of every single social media platform that I have. Make sure you guys go ahead and follow me on each one that you have, and I will check you guys in my next video. Okay, love you guys. Bye.